When you first meet Kargan, you can prevent the set of Unstoppables from spawning by leaving an enemy alive while capturing the plate. This is easily done by stepping on the plate to spawn in the 2 gladiators and 9 warbeasts, then killing both gladiators and 8 of the warbeasts, and then use cellular suppression to stun the 9th warbeast while capturing the plate. If no one is running cellular suppression, you can have someone run stasis and freeze the last enemy using their abilities. Just be careful, as stasis will damage the dog, while cellular suppression won't.
Guardian, I'm making the elimination of Kargan your priority on this operation.
When you reach the vinculum cell, you can send someone to immediately damage Kargan, which will prevent an additional barrier Colossus from spawning in. Note the bottom left, only one champion appears, which is the Unstoppable. That being said, if your team decides to do this, they should not kill any Legionaries until the Unstoppable appears. Killing Legionaries and then damaging Kargan will spawn in that additional barrier. Note the bottom left, 2 champions appear, an Unstoppable and a barrier. There are a few other despawns you can do in the vinculum cell, however they are not worth doing on Grandmaster, as they all involve not killing Barrier Colossus. For example, if you don't kill the barrier that spawns with the first arc charge, only one will spawn with the second arc charge, instead of 2. This is because the game registers that one of the barriers is already alive, so it only introduces the second one. If your team is struggling starting the boss fight, you can have someone running Behemoth and just use their super to prevent enemies from stepping on the plate. Bonus points if you place crystals on the actual plate, so if they do step on, you can just shatter them. If no one is on stasis, you can just set up some anarchy traps in front of the plate and let the enemies walk into them. Please note that the clip you're watching is from Master, so on Grandmaster you will need a second person with anarchy, or you can actually just shoot the enemies. During Kargan's first phase, his last set of Legionary spawns is halfway through the second C in Technocrat. Once he gets to this point, clear out all Legionaries and set up for the plates. If your team is comfortable having everyone capture their own plate on Grandmaster, send everyone to a different plate and then shoot the boss. If your team is not comfortable, send everyone to the right plate and just use stasis or cellular suppression to prevent the enemies from capturing. If you have not watched my video on how the enemy spawn work during this section of the boss fight, try to not kill any legionaries during this phase. The act of killing a legionary is what triggers enemy spawns. In the clip, you'll notice I killed one legionary. If you kill a legionary, you'll need to deal with incendiaries and war beasts. Ideally, that won't happen. But if it does, just kill every enemy until only 4 legionaries are left. In the clip, I had 4 legionaries and 1 incendiary alive. To capture the second plate, you can have someone use dusk-fueled grenades or cellular suppression to keep the enemies frozen, while someone else captures the second plate. Try not to kill any legionaries while capturing this plate. The third plate is the same process as the second, however you can actually kill the legionaries while capturing. If you're doing this solo, I'd recommend making every legionary as one shot as possible and then freeze them with a dusk-field grenade. Once the plate is about halfway charged, just kill all 4 legionaries and finish capturing the plate. If you have the timing down, Kargan will drop and no enemies will spawn. The last phase of the boss is very similar to the first, however instead of only being 8 legionaries, he also spawns a couple incendiaries and a couple phalanxes. These enemies are health gated, so you can just keep killing the enemies, damaging the boss, killing enemies, damaging the boss. Kargan also no longer rushes spawn, so that is a very safe area to hang out.